Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mobile VR Reviews. I'm your host, Guy Manspeed, and today I'll be reviewing Drift for the GearVR. Drift is described by its developers as the first bullet simulator for VR, and it definitely delivers on that promise. Developed by a small indie studio called SharpSense, Drift was originally an entry in the 2015 Oculus Mobile VR Game Jam, where it won a Gold Award. It was then released on December 10th of that same year on the GearVR store, where you can buy it today for $9.99. In a direct contrast to the oh-so-many games where you fire bullets at stuff, the entire gameplay of Drift is based around the idea that you are the bullet. The game is comprised of 15 levels, plus 4 archive levels that made up the original Game Jam submission, plus an endless mode, which has less in common with the rest of Drift and more in common with other first-person endless runners. At the outset of any given level, you begin flying forward at a brisk yet constant velocity, searching for your target. You twist and turn through the maze-like environments looking for the target you need to hit to end the level. Hit anything other than your target, and you'll be given a mocking or motivational message and sent back to the start. The game is a lot of fun, especially the archive levels, which are less abstract and more crime scene in action. But the later levels of the main game can test your patience. Between the tight confines of the level geometry and the high speed of movement, you'll often find yourself frantically twisting and weaving only to smack into the pillar or person you didn't notice, and then restarting the level. Some of the levels are just plain difficult to navigate. The game forces you to embrace a die and retry style of play, and provides a colored trail to show you the path you've taken in past lives. This helps somewhat, but some of the levels basically require you to practice and practice until you've memorized the route you need to take. You control this whole being the bullet experience by looking in the direction you want to go. Head tracking is tight, as with most GearVR games, and that really gives you a sense of being in control of where you're going. Touching the GearVR touchpad starts you moving, and touching and holding it during gameplay enters super slow motion mode, letting you make those tight turns easier, or just giving you a breather as you decide which way to go at a junction. Use it sparingly though, your slow-mo meter runs out quickly, and even though it can be refilled by getting the little green bonus crystals, you'll likely spend your slow-mo meter just to get the crystals, really gaining nothing. Of course, on Saturdays you have infinite slow-mo meter, which can really help you get through the tough spots. The graphics are clean, flat-shaded polygons, with the entire world colored in shades of orange, with the exception of a few levels. This produces a very slick, surreal world for you to exist in as a bullet. The level themes are quite diverse, with some of my favorites being jailbreaks, bank robberies, superhero fights, and inside a whale. As I mentioned before, the entire world is frozen in time, with bad guys breaking down doors, glass shattering, objects caught in mid-fall, and explosions caught in mid-blast. The levels are packed with these time-frozen inhabitants, which really makes the world feel alive despite being motionless, but gives you just that much more stuff to hit while looking for your target. For the most part, the graphics are fast and smooth, with only very occasional clipping issues. I did notice some slowdown in the superhero level, however, which is likely due to the large amount of particle effects in that scene. The sound and music in this game are outstanding. It's a strange mix of hip-hop and classical, but it really fits with the aesthetic of the world. The music varies from level to level, and usually avoids feeling repetitive. I say usually because on some occasions, after retrying a level 20 or 30 times, you'll probably be ready to hear something new, even when the music is this good. There's also a fair bit of very well done voice acting. Each stage is preceded by a man with a British accent who actually seems to be an artificial intelligence outlining some sort of lesson or goal. He talks about danger and perseverance and keeps calling you a squirrel.
But I digress.
It's entertaining, and it helps give the game some continuity between levels, but some of them go on a little longer than needed. With the velocity being constant and the navigation being handled by head tracking, the game is quite comfortable to play, and I didn't experience any motion sickness. However, level 11 has you going through a maze of portals which, in addition to being extremely tedious to navigate, exposes your eyes to quickly alternating black and white and orange every 3 to 8 seconds, which started to give me a headache after about 20 minutes of being lost. I've heard that some people do get motion sick from Drift, but I'd still say this is one of the more comfortable GearVR games. That said, I highly recommend playing this game sitting down in a swivel chair. While spinning and bobbing my way through the levels, I came very close to falling over a couple of times because I lost my balance while playing the game standing up. So don't do that. This game gave me a very strong sense of presence, and I base that on the several times I would flinch when I hit something unexpectedly, or trying to lean around corners with my entire body despite only my head orientation being tracked. No matter the size of the levels, there's always something passing right in front of your nose, which really brings you into the game. You're a speeding bullet in a frozen, low-poly orange world, but you definitely feel like you're a part of that world. With all that said, the question remains, should you buy this game? Drift is a great example of a game made specifically for VR that really makes use of the medium. It's unique, fun, whimsical, and definitely challenging. However, if you find the die and retry style of gameplay tedious, maybe it's not for you. For me, I'll say that I'm glad I picked it up during a sale on the GearVR store for a little over $3. Compared to what else is available on the GearVR store for the game's normal price of $9.99, this game feels a bit light. If you pay full price, you might find yourself uttering the phrase, "That's all I get for $10?" Ultimately, I recommend that you keep your eyes open for the next GearVR sale, where you should be able to grab it for under $5. It's a very thoughtful and well-made game, and a great way to introduce some friends to VR. Thanks for watching. Did you agree with my review of Drift? Was I completely wrong, or did I miss something? Leave a comment to let me know what you think, and if you like what you saw and want to see more of this, hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you have a specific request for a review, write that in the comments too. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.